Although illegal trade in wildlife isn't new, the concept of butterfly smuggling was brought to light a few years ago with the arrest of Yoshi Kojima. In her book, Winged Obsession, author and journalist Jessica Speart went halfway around the world to learn more about this elusive criminal. Jessica Speart joins us now. It's great to have you, Jessica.
Thanks, Jocelyn. Good to be here.
All right, first of all, let's talk about this butterfly, illegal butterfly market, because that is the premise of your book. I didn't even realize it was such a major concern.
I didn't know either until I started getting into this, until I learned about this case. And it really is this underground, amazing business that is worth millions and millions of dollars.
Well, why should we care about this?
Well, this is interesting, and this is something people always ask. If you were talking about pandas or chimps or elephants, gorillas, people would be in an uproar and they would care. But butterflies are an amazing indicator species of what's happening in the environment. They're right after bees, and butterflies are dying out, and that's not a good sign for the planet.
Now, this book is intriguing because it has all kinds of things in this, and this is really similar to Catch Me If You Can.
Yes.
So let's talk about the character, and he's a real
guy.
He's a real guy. Yoshi?
Yoshi Kojima. Yoshi Kojima is a notorious butterfly smuggler who's been doing this since the early to mid-90s, and he was doing it here in the States for at least a decade. He would go into certain areas, wipe out populations of butterflies.
Totally?
Wipe them out. He would either catch he would get the eggs, gather the eggs, pull up the food plants, or the butterflies themselves, wipe out a local population, send everything to Japan to sell over there, because in Japan, nature is so revered, and butterflies, bugs, are so, they love them. I mean, they're more popular than cats and dogs in Japan.
And he made millions?
He made a lot of money. I don't know if he personally made millions. He always claimed to make a lot of money.
We have some pictures of the butterflies.
Those are bird wings. Those are the big tropical, showy, beautiful butterflies that come from Papua New Guinea, from Indonesia, and there are some that go for anywhere from $60,000 on down, but there's one in particular that he was caught for, which is on the cover of the book, which is the Queen Alexandra, and that is sort of like the panda icon for World Wildlife Fund. Queen Alexandra is for what's happening with butterflies. That's from New Guinea, and it is the largest butterfly in the world. It is the size of a small bird, wingspan of 11 to 12 inches, and a pair of those, and collectors always want them in a pair, male, female, will go for $10,000 for perfect specimens.
All right, so Yoshi does this illegally throughout the world.
Yes.
But he's very elusive.
Oh, God, yes.
And so no one's been able to catch him. Twice they tried to catch him.
Yeah.
Finally, it happened the third time. It was all because of his, I guess, obsession with this U.S. wildlife agent.
What happened, it was a rookie agent, Ed Newcomer, who was sent to go and sort of watch him, you know, covertly at the Bug Fair at LA Museum of Natural History a number of years ago. And it turned into an undercover operation that went on for 3 years. Ed took on the profile of being an amateur collector, wanting to get into the business. Yoshi took him under his wing, so to speak, and eventually the case did crash and burn twice, but on the third try, as they were drawing closer and getting more of a relationship and a legal trade was starting to go on between them, he discovered that Yoshi had developed a crush on him. And Ed had to play this for all it was worth in order to get Yoshi back to the United States from Japan, where he was at that point, in order to arrest him. All the butterflies were being sent here to Newcomer, but he had to get Yoshi into the country himself. And that is an amazing, twisted, crazy, quirky, dark tale, and absolutely, it obsessed me. It fascinated me.
And you said Yoshi really has created a web of lies.
His whole life pretty much is a web of lies. Even his best friends that I interviewed in California didn't know what was true, what was not true. After they found out, it shocked them. Yoshi had claimed to be married, to have a son, to work for National Geographic. He fooled not only his friends, he fooled government officials all over the world.
Okay, so how did you get obsessed with this?
Oh, it's so strange. I actually had a special agent who is a friend who called me when this case had been wrapped up and said, there's this story, you are not going to believe it. It is so insane, you're not going to believe the tale. And the more I learned about it, the more I got pulled in. And the more I got pulled in and started writing the story and interviewing everyone, I knew that in order to put an end on this story, to sort of solve my own obsession, I had to go and meet Yoshi. And the problem was Yoshi refused to speak to anyone, especially once he'd been in prison here and was released. He wouldn't talk to anyone. And I knew this, so I couldn't call him up and say, "Excuse me, can I come over and
So you
speak
just went
to
up
you?"
to his home
I
and knocked
did
at
not
the door?
know anybody. I flew to Japan, not knowing whether he was going to be there or not, just figuring it was part of the story.
Right.
And I went to Kyoto, where he lives, found him, tracked him down, basically staked him out, and bumped into him.
And what was your impression?
Yoshi is a very smart man. Yoshi is a very nice man. I began to feel kind of bad about it because Yoshi was very nice to me, and I did spend time with him. We talked a lot about butterflies. I came on as being very enthusiastic, wanting to know a lot about butterflies, and it was only the last night when we went out to dinner that I suddenly discovered the tables were being turned and who was conning whom.
You were getting conned?
Yeah, Yoshi started approaching me the same way as he did the undercover agent, where he basically wanted to pull me in as a liaison to carry on the illegal trade here with butterflies in the U.S., where he began to ask me, "Do you know how to use eBay?" And this was the same line he had used with Newcomer, for a newcomer to be his cover in case anything went wrong.
All right, what they're telling us, we got to wrap up, but really quickly, though, he did spend how many years in prison for this?
He spent 21 months.
All right, and does he know you've written the book?
I am sure by now he does.
Okay, all right. Again, the name of the book is Winged Obsession by Jessica Speart, and we can get this book anywhere, right?
Anywhere.
All right,
yes.
Excellent. Oh, it's fabulous.
Thank you so much,
I enjoyed reading
Jocelyn.
it, Jessica.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Don't go away, there's more Connecticut Style right after this.